So one of the things that we have to do when we are looking at short stories is we actually have to look at them more than one time, which is kind of difficult for us because we're so used to reading something and then washing our hands of it and being like, okay, I did that, now that's done. But with short stories, we have to examine them because they're packing so much more information into such a smaller space that we have to look at it from multiple angles. So when we first watch this, I just want you to watch it. All right, just watch it and pay attention and see if you can find some different symbols and metaphors that exist within this short story. Oh.
La mayoría de la gente ahora, como no acude a su trabajo, pues no está ensuciando zapatos, no están gastando sus suelas.
Nosotros acá seguimos para adelante.
Tú tienes que salir adelante.
Okay, so that's the end of the short story. So this is what I want you guys to do. Go ahead and get out a clean sheet of paper, and I want you to jot down everything that you noticed in the short story that had to do with color. So everything in the short story that you noticed that had to do with color. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. So everything in the short story that you noticed that had to do with color. Four minutes. Everything in the short story that had to do with color. 3 minutes. Got about a minute left. Everything from the short story had to do with color. All right, for those of you that are at home, please know I'm going to start calling on you. So be ready within the next 30 seconds to give me something. All right. Alan, give me one thing that you noticed with color. Whenever someone was happy, they gained color. Bierman, give me something that you noticed with color.
The drawings from class.
What about the drawings from class?
Like the schoolwork was all black and white, and then everything that was unique or that he was interested in pretty much was colorful.
So the school drawings from class, everything was in black and white, but everything that the child was interested in that was unique or interesting, they were in color. Elsa, you'd give me one thing having to do with color.
And what color equals joy?
Yeah, color equals joy. Okay. Let's see. Nichols, give me something that has to do with color. You can either turn your microphone on or you can type it in the chat. Give me something that has to do with color. Nichols. All right, McWilliams, give me something that has to do with color.
Whenever they got like really upset, the color went away. They lost all emotion.
When they have negative emotions, either they're upset or they're depressed, the color drains away. Okay? So what does all of this mean? If we were to name a theme, if we were to put some sort of a message that has to do with this short story that we watched, it would probably be something along the idea of, you know, just focusing on the day-to-day work tasks drains your energy, drains your joy, drains your happiness. All right. If we wanted to put it into a message that's kind of like a convincing message of how to live your life, then we would say something along the lines of make sure not to neglect your joy, either for yourself or for your children, Otherwise, what are you working for? Okay, so now I'm going to show you the same short story, but I'm going to walk you through, as sort of a privileged ear and a privileged eye, of how all of these elements of color and metaphor work together. Okay, so you don't have to do anything but listen. All right, so you tell me, first thing that we notice, what color are all of the books underneath the backpack? Black and white, right? And they all say the same generic word. What's the same generic word they say? School, okay? And notice he's blue with an orange tie. You guys ever feel like that? Like you're getting ready to go to school and like you pack all of your books into your book bag, or in this case, it would be your laptop, right? And it just feels so over full that it's like, it's almost like a magical bag. So we see here that this is actually a progression of time. When you guys first started school, when you were in like kindergarten or pre-K, this is how you felt about school. Because for you, school was getting snacks, and it was recess, and it was nap time, and it was maybe learning the ABCs, but for the most part, school was kind of fun. And you were excited to go because it was a cool, new, fun adventure. So before school became school, this little guy, this little orange guy that's running around, this is how you felt about it. You're super excited for school. Yay, school. And that too is symbolic. The fact that when he drops the book bag onto the child has to sit down and be still, right? Because that's what school is. Sit down and be still. Do what you're told. Like, okay, well, this is really heavy. So notice that the dad is doing the same movement as the child, except for him, the black and white books don't say school, the black and white books say work. Notice that the L, the tall L, is blue, and the little I is orange, just like he's tall and blue, and the child is orange. All right, what color is the town and everyone in it? Fry, Brianna Fry. What color is the town and everyone in it?
White.
Yeah, they're kind of white and like neutral beige color. There's not really a color to them. They're kind of colorless. Okay, so you guys saw the tree. You notice that the tree is beautiful and in color, but what is the shape of the tree? Can you guys tell what the shape is? It's supposed to look like a heart. Notice the violin here. Notice too that he's got a case down there, right? But he's still part of the artists, right? So for him, this is about joy seeking. This is not about work or getting money. What does the backpack symbolize? The backpack is a concrete object that stands for an abstract idea. What does the backpack symbolize? School, responsibility, work, the have-tos of life, what I have to do, even if I don't want to do it. Notice that his color is starting to fade. of the work is work. The name of the school is school. You're supposed to see a paragraph. Little guy. Guy sits down at the desk. Dad sits down at the desk. Little guy has work. Dad has work. Color fades. Noticing. Okay. The initial assignment that little guy is given, obviously, is to replicate the A, B, C, and D. But he didn't do that. He used all of the colors, and he drew a visual picture. Okay? This also is a metaphor for the way school treats the arts. There are subjects that are considered to be academic subjects and subjects that are considered to not be academic subjects. And art is not considered to be an academic subject. All right? So what ends up happening is this little boy starts off being creative, just like you did when you were in school. All right? You started off in kindergarten, you started off in pre-K, and you were creative, and we gave you finger paints, and you did fun, creative things, right? And then we slowly but surely sapped your creativity. All the colors speak. Teacher says no. So he still picks up a color, right? He's not black and white yet. He still picks up a color to complete the assignment. Is he doing the assignment? Is he actually creating the ABCs there? Yeah, he's creating the ABCs. He's just doing it creatively, right? And he's doing it in color. So he's got a little bit of both here. He's got a little bit of creativity and a little bit of sort of mastering the assignment, okay? He's doing it. But notice too that we've got the mimicking here is that it has to be exactly in the lines. It has to be exactly black and white. It has to be in the box. Got to be in the box. That's mimicking. You guys mimicking. What is physically down? Pretty much gone at this. There's a little tiny bit of blue on. Everything else goes away. In this moment, everything else fades away. No background noise, no anything. So that's also a metaphor. So what gives the dad joy? For the son, it's art and it's playing and it's creativity and all of those things. But what is the dad's joy?
His son being happy.
Yeah, his son being happy, right? The joy that the son has is what's bringing the dad joy. All right, so this is what some of you guys experienced when your 6 weeks grades came out, right? Look at what I did the best I could. And then there's that sense of disappointment, right? That, come on now, I know you can do better. And then there goes the sun. Notice that he's starting to fade again. Now we're in the monotony of school, the day in and day out. We'll have to go back again. Happy, seeking joy, time to go to school. There goes dad's color. Sun is starting to revert to actually what school is demanding. There goes son's color. Notice now he's in black and white. He's using pencils instead of black and white. Sun's color has faded. Sun is unhappy, so there's not joy. So dad is not receiving joy from son, therefore he's not being restored. Immediately the sun, day in and day out. This is where we are right now in the semester. 7 weeks in. Notice that he's actually doing the assignment now, but the creativity is gone. The color is gone. He's getting better, but he's losing his identity. See how he's starting to look like all of the other kids? Here you go. Here's your A's. Here's my 12th grade report. Hope you're happy. But notice the son still seeks joy. Just like you guys when you're listening to music or you're going on, playing video games or hanging out with your friends, it still seeks joy. And then dad has a realization. That is called an epiphany. He kind of realizes what he's done. Look how little color is in the dad. He says, let's skip school. Let's skip school and go do something fun. But then they get there, and this is just like time, guys. When I used to have parent-teacher nights with parents that would come in, I would actually show them this film, because this is where your parents are right now. Is they have had you go through the school system, and you're getting ready to be done with school, and this is kind of where he is, right, with his child, if this is a metaphorical journey, and it's like he waited too long. He waited too long to appreciate and to enjoy, okay? And because he waited too long, the violin player is gone. And so the kid's like, well, I guess I'll just go back to school, right? Because this is all over. This is the fun part is done, okay? So he's trying to save it before it's too late. Dad wants to save it before it's too late. Kid's like, I guess we just go back and go to work, school. But then dad takes the risk. All the gray people are judging him, and they're like, that's weird, that guy's weird. What is he doing? But the kid gets it. The kid recognizes the effort that dad is putting forth. And then everything else goes away. So again, that metaphorical moment. And the joy is back. And then they pan out, the city slowly comes back into focus. You'll notice so here's where it all ties together. The heart, that red heart, is supposed to symbolize that no matter what you do, if you keep that hope within your heart of happiness and joy and seeking joy and allowing others and helping others to seek joy within your heart, it doesn't matter where it takes place, okay? So when we talk about short stories, we're gonna be reading short stories as a class, and I want you guys to pay attention to all of those metaphors and symbols. This would be a different story if it took place on a farm. This would be a different story if it took place, in Alaska, all right? When we talk about it being centered in the middle of the city, and the fact that the moment the epiphany of the child and the father coming together is on a green space with the only tree in the city, the setting matters. The time matters, right? Temporally speaking, the fact that it's a little kid versus a little bit older kid, that matters, all right? The fact that we see what is happening from their day-to-day schedule and the monotony within that day-to-day schedule, all of those things matter. Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop the recording. What I want you guys to do now, if you want, you can go ahead and start reading Young Goodman